Hey, how's it going, guys? We're here talking some Penn State football today. Great news. Great news, obviously. Penn State beating Wisconsin. Man, I love college football, man. I love Penn State, and I love that guy, Jaquan Brisker. I can't believe that Wisconsin shot themselves in the foot as often as they did. Now, we did too. We shot ourselves in the foot too, but I expected Wisconsin to be that cleaned up, they're known to be that kind of disciplined program, and they weren't as far as what they did to screw themselves. Graham Mertz, I mean, he's a guy who is supposed to be this really talented quarterback. I don't understand why he gets so much hype. Maybe just because he played so well against, I think it was Illinois last year in the first game of the season. But other than that, he hasn't really done anything, and um, he didn't really do much in this game either. I don't think he really had too many long throws down the field, more than like 10 or 15 yards, and uh, I think we have a better quarterback today. I think we did. I think I'm not. That's not to say that Clifford played perfect, but hey, he didn't turn the ball over at all. He had, I think, about 250 yards passing with a touchdown. So really, that stat line's good. He didn't turn the ball over and um, had had a pretty good day for the most part. Now, did he do some frustrating things? Sure. He missed a couple throws, but other than that, Clifford did pretty much what a normal game manager does. Now the question is, can Clifford become more than a game manager? We'll see. But well, anyways, so yeah, the defense definitely came up huge. The only thing that I'm a little bit irritated about on the defensive side of the ball is defending the run, which I figured might be an issue, especially against Wisconsin, who's known to run the ball very well. Um, Luckily, we got out with a win, even struggling against the run. But we're gonna have to make sure and clean that up because in the future, I don't want to be run on. I hate being run on. It feels demoralizing. You know, being being beat by the passing game, that sucks. But there's something about just being like punched in the mouth by the run game that just really sucks. And I hope that doesn't happen this season to Penn State. Um, Wisconsin is definitely probably one of the better running teams we'll face. So hopefully that won't be too much of a problem moving forward. And really, I think that everybody's talking about this game being a boring game. I was looking on Twitter during the game. Listen, if this was an SEC game between like Alabama and LSU, you'd have everybody drooling over how this is old school, big time power football, how this is amazing. But yet, Penn State, Wisconsin go out there and everybody's saying, "Oh, this is boring. This is boring. This is boring." That's another thing that irritates me. I know that doesn't really pertain to like the game necessarily, but it's just a side thing that really frustrates me because I think it's so stupid how just because it's not this high scoring game, it doesn't make it not exciting. It's kind of frustrating. But well, anyways, moving along, I think the second half, the Penn State offense actually did pretty well. Scoring 17, it should have been 17 points. Um, Really could have been 20 for the game because Stout missed a 23-yard field goal. Um, then he missed an extra point, which I'll get into a little bit in a couple minutes or so. But I think it's frustrating how the offense was doing in the first half because I expected them to be able to be a lot better than what they were. But in the second half, I think they came out a lot better. They were throwing the ball downfield. Um, and then they were able to run the ball more towards the end, too, which I was so frustrated during the game because we have such a good, talented, stable running backs, yet we couldn't give them holes to run through. And we finally started doing that towards the end of the game. Hopefully, that'll not be the case in the future. Hopefully, we'll be able to run the ball when we want to from first snap to the last snap because I'm tired. I was tired of seeing all game just us having to pass the ball because we can't run. And yeah, so the offense, I think, as long as they kind of build on this performance in the second half, they have a chance to be pretty good. Obviously, Mike Yurcich is his first, it's his first game, so you expect to see a little bit of struggles um, in the first game. So hopefully that won't be too much of an indicator for what it is the rest of the season, and we'll be able to put up more points. And so yeah, I think that as far as the kicking game goes, because that's definitely a frustrating thing. I don't understand why Jake Pinniger wasn't kicking the shorter field goals. He's not this amazing kicker, I would say, but he's still somebody that's reliable on short short field goals. He's able to make extra points for the most part. And he's able to make short field goals, and I don't get why Stout was out there. He's we know he has a big leg, but he doesn't have good accuracy. I don't understand why he's out there kicking. Penninger must have some sort of injury or something's going on, some sort of discipline issue, because Stout, in my opinion, especially after the first time he missed, should not have been out there. And so yeah, and by the way, jump around with Wisconsin. I mean, what the heck? Why? That's so overrated. I mean, listen, it was like maybe like 30 seconds to a minute long, and like half the people in the stadium were jumping, and while they were playing, what is it, Metallica or whatever. I mean, it's not that impressive, okay? Maybe you have to be in the stadium to really get the true feel for it because the announcers are really drooling over it, but it's something that I think isn't even like one of these top traditions. I mean, I don't think of the top traditions in college football as just jumping around for 30 seconds to a minute to a song. I mean, there are a lot better traditions to that than that in college football. And I'm happy that Penn State got this win, man. I'm happy that Penn State got this win. It's a huge win over the number 12 team in the country. This is the best road win under James Franklin. I don't think that, I mean, maybe the Iowa game a couple years ago can compare to it, but this one I would say is bigger, especially since it's the first game of the season compared to what happened last year um, against Indiana. It's the complete opposite. Hopefully, this will propel us to a strong season like last year when it actually uh, made us have a demoralizing season. Because I think if we won that game against Indiana, things may have gone a lot differently for the rest of the year. And hopefully, this season will translate into a much better year for Penn State because of this momentum building win. And so, yeah, game one out of the way, get a huge victory. Playing Ball State next. I think Ball State is a team definitely to watch out for. Penn State can't rest on the laurels very much. They're going to have to make sure and be ready for that game. Can't think too far ahead to Auburn. Um, and then, yeah, after Ball State, you do have Auburn, um, which will be a big game, whiteout. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to that game. Um, so yeah, I think that overall we've got a lot to work on, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But it's a good start. It's a win against the number 12 team in the country on the road. You know, there aren't too many better momentum building ways than what you did today. All right, well, thank you guys. We are Penn State.